Hey guys, we're back. Welcome back. Little technical difficulty there, but just to show you how well we were prepared, I'm on another laptop. There's the first laptop, and then there's my camera ready to go. So one way or the other, we were going to make this happen. So, take two. Welcome again to Easy Divers Memphis Tune-Up Tuesday. My name's Pat Nelson. I am the... Hello? Damon, can you hear me now? Yay! Okay, sorry about that. Again, my name's Pat Nelson, and we're going to go over underwater communications using hand signals on today's edition of Tune-Up Tuesday. So what we're going to do is take about 10 minutes and talk about the hand signals we'll use in the pool or during open water dive. So without further ado, here we go. The best signal, or the first signal we always teach, is the OK sign. This is what you would use underwater to tell your buddy that you are okay. It can be a question or it can be the answer. So, are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. If you're not okay, or if there's an issue, you just don't know something's not quite right, this is not good. I've got a problem. I don't know what the issue is. If you do know what the issue is, you can say, I've got an issue. It's my ears. It's my mask. It's my fins, whatever that happens to be. Okay. Down. So when we want to start the dive and we want to go underwater, we're going to use the down signal. If we want to go down just a little bit, we could say, let's go down just a little. So you can make up what you need to do. If you want to go up a little bit, or if you just want to go up and in the dive, that would be the hand signal for that. So we're going to go down. We're going to go down to our dive. And the first thing I'm going to have you do is we're going to have you hover. And that's my hand signal for hover. If we were teaching in the pool, I would use that. If we were on a dive, I would probably just say level off. And we'll stay at this level right here for a little bit. As we go through the dive, we're using our air. I may ask you how much air you have left in your tank. This is my hand signal. I'm going to either make my hand into a pressure gauge and point at it, or I may actually lift up my pressure gauge to you and point at my pressure gauge. That's your cue to tell your buddy how much air you've got left. Okay, I'm going to tell you the way Easy Divers does it, but in real life, when you're diving with somebody, please make sure you understand how you're going to answer this question. There are 5 or 10 or 20 different ways to do it depending on where you dive and whether you're a tech diver or a rec diver or whatever. So for Easy Divers, we do thousands of PSI on our arms and use our fingers for the hundreds. So if I ask you how much air you have and you have 2,500, you would answer 2,500. Okay? It's that simple. Some places they do it with one hand. Some places, if you turn your fingers sideways, it means something else. For Easy Divers, 1,500, 1,900. We use both hands if we have to. Most importantly, check with your buddy to make sure he's going to use the same system you are, so that at 110 feet, you don't say, I've got 300 PSI, and because you turn the sign over, he thinks it's 800, because that's happened before. Okay, so let's say we're on our dive and we see some stuff we want to look at. I may say, look over there, or look over there, or look up. Or I may say, watch me. Okay, that's some of the hand signals we use there. This is one that I like to use on the Juliet. Is anyone know what that means? Right, hold my beer and watch this. Okay, couple other signals we use. If you want to get together with your buddy, or if I want to get you together with your buddy, this means buddy up. Okay. You lead, I'll follow. So I may point to you and put my hand out and say, I'll. So you lead, I'll follow. Okay, so we've been diving for quite a while now. We've seen some stuff. It's time to turn around and go back to where we need to come from, or where we came from. So I may give you the giddy up, round up signal. That's turn the dive, and we'll go back the other way. Okay. Couple other ones will go as we're getting towards the end of the dive. You might find out that you're low on air. Not an emergency, but you're just down to say 1,000 psi or 800. So I'm low on air. Would be a fist to your chest. Out of air, which is an emergency, would be the cutting motion. And then what normally follows out of air is please share your air. We don't normally practice that in real life, but it's good to know if somebody comes up to you and says, share your air, they're asking nicely. They could have just come up and grabbed your second stage, and that would have been okay too. Okay, so as we're ending our dive, the last thing we're going to do, and we typically do this for every dive that we're on, is we're going to do a 3-minute safety stop. Okay, and that's the hand signal there. 3 minutes at this level. Okay, so those are the basic hand signals that we use. What I'd like to go through now is a couple of the critter hand signals that we use. And I've got some handy dandy neat little flashcards here. I'm going to flash up, and I'll show you what the hand signal is for those. Okay, so my first one, everybody see what that is? Okay, that's a Caribbean reef crab, and that would be the generic hand signal for a crab. Okay. This one's cool. We've seen these on the Juliet and in the Caribbean quite a bit. Okay. And that would be an angelfish. We make the sign of a halo on top of our head. We don't like to see these, but we do typically see a lot. And that is a lionfish. There are 2 signals for the lionfish. Sometimes we will use the lion's mane. We'll just use one hand up by our jaw and make like a mane. What I've seen more in use is 2 hands with your fingers as the spines. Either one of those works. And hopefully the next thing you're going to do is harvest that guy and cook them down because they taste really good. Some other pictures from the Juliet that we use, or that we see. These are little garden eels. And the typical hand signal we see from that is this for garden eel. Okay. A couple more. If you're really still and you've got good eyes like Sarah Lynn does, you can see one of these. This is a juvenile spotted drum. Typically, we'll just play the drums, or if it's a very small one, we'll say there's a little drum and then point over there. Okay. Down to last couple here. That's my friend the green Moray Eel, and the hand signal for the eel, just right here. If it's a big eel, you could say it's a big eel, or if it's a little eel, a little one, whichever you want to do. Okay. How about the spiny lobster? Right here. And then last but not least, and this is usually followed by you lead, I'll follow, is the shark. So shark. Now, if you're diving with Matt, our other instructor, when you see shark, sometimes you'll see this hand signal also, with 2 fingers on one hand and 1 finger on the other. And what that basically means is if you will turn around real quick, there are 2 Caribbean reef sharks coming up on your left and 1 Caribbean reef shark coming up on your right. And at that point in time, it's time to end the dive. So I hope you enjoyed Tune-Up Tuesday and some of the hand signals that divers use. Thank you for joining us again. Please check us out on easydiversmemphis.com, on Facebook at this page that you're watching this on now, or at Instagram at Easy Divers Memphis. We've got some exciting trips that we're planning, hopefully, for the summer. We've got Vortex and I think Pennyroyal coming up. We're still trying to do the Bahamas on the Juliet. And then we've got some, I think Roatan is still in the works. So if you've got any questions or want any assistance from any of us, please give us a call or a text or Facebook message, and we'll be happy to help you out. Again, thanks for joining, and we'll see you next time.